All right, let's jump straight into this explainer and vividly reconstruct what is easily one of the most stunning David versus Goliath upsets in modern World Cup history. We're looking back at the 2018 clash between the defending champions, Germany, and a wildly determined Mexican squad. If you love tactical masterclasses and the sheer, unpredictable drama of international football, well, this right here is exactly why we watch the sport.
25. Think about that for a second. That is the number of massive shots Germany fired during this match. By literally all conventional football metrics, a team unleashing that kind of offensive firepower should walk away with a comfortable win. But, as we're going to see as we analyze this game, sheer volume doesn't always break a heroic, meticulously organized defense.
So, it really makes you wonder, what happens when an unstoppable world champion meets the ultimate underdog on the biggest stage of them all? We're going to track the shocking momentum shifts that happened when a hungry Mexican side collided with the towering giants of Germany. And we'll break down exactly how the impossible actually became reality. Section 1. Clash of Football Titans, setting the stage for a historic upset.
Going into this, the pre-match stats painted a picture that was frankly terrifying if you were playing Germany. I mean, they boasted this flawless, high-scoring opening match record. We're talking 7 successive wins with a staggering 27 goals. They were basically invincible on day one. But Mexico brought their own armor to the fight. A stubborn refusal to lose a tournament opener, riding an incredible unbeaten streak that stretched all the way back to 1994. Something definitely had to give here. But, there was this looming shadow over the Germans. The commentators kept bringing up the champion's curse. It's this bizarre phenomenon where 3 of the last 4 defending World Cup winners just completely failed to make it past the group stage. Everyone clearly remembered how Spain, the reigning champions in 2014, were absolutely humbled 5-1 by the Netherlands in their opener. So the big question was, could Germany somehow avoid that same fate?
Moving on to Section 2. An open first half. Define the KG opening game expectations.
17. That's the incredible number of attempts on goal in just the first half alone. Usually, opening matches are these tense, cagey affairs where teams kind of just feel each other out. Yeah, not this one.
Instead of playing it safe, both teams came out just trading heavy blows from the very first whistle. Manuel Neuer was tested immediately, while down at the other end, Guillermo Ochoa was busy gathering German attempts. But the defining tactical story here was efficiency versus volume. Mexico's blistering counterattacks were constantly catching the aggressive German defense totally off guard, totally exploiting the wide-open space they left behind.
Section 3. Lozano strikes for Mexico, the defining moment of the match.
This breathless pace finally reached its absolute crescendo about 10 minutes before halftime. Picture this, 34th minute. Javier Chicharito Hernandez races right through the center on a rapid counterattack. A minute later, he slips this perfectly weighted pass to a 22-year-old rising star, Hirving Lozano. Lozano brilliantly checks back inside, completely faking out his defender, and just blasts the ball past Neuer.
And boom, 1-0 Mexico. In a matter of seconds, the entire dynamic of the tournament flipped on its head. This singular strike forced Germany, a team that is practically invincible in openers, to desperately play from behind in an opening game for the first time since 1986. It was completely uncharted territory for this generation of German players. Of course, Germany's response was almost instantaneous, and it produced one of the defining moments of the tournament. The commentary captured it perfectly. Pushed onto the bar by Guillermo Ochoa, that's the save of the match so far. Toni Kroos had hit this magnificent curling free kick that was absolutely destined for the top corner, but Ochoa pulled off a miraculous flying save to preserve the lead. Which brings us to Section 4, the relentless German siege, a ticking clock of desperation.
Entering the second half, the match shifted into an absolute relentless siege by the trailing champions. Germany completely dominated possession. They yielded 25 total shots, 9 of them on target, and racked up 8 corner kicks. Yet for all that statistical dominance, for all that pressure, they completely failed to break Mexico's heroic, incredibly disciplined defensive line.
Those final few minutes became an agonizing ticking clock sequence of heart-stopping near misses for the Germans. 87th minute, Mario Gomez misses a completely free header in the box. 89th minute, substitute Julian Brandt rockets a brilliant shot that literally pings right off the outside of the goalpost.
And then, deep into stoppage time, in the 92nd minute, Joshua Kimmich's final, desperate, low strike was smothered by Ochoa right through a massive crowd of players.
At this point, utter panic had set in. In a pure, unadulterated act of desperation, even the German goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer, abandoned his own net. He raced all the way across the pitch just to play as an attacker for a final corner kick in the dying seconds.
Section 5. Making World Cup History. Tears of Joy and Cemented Legacies.
When that final whistle blew, the entire landscape of World Cup history had been rewritten. For Mexico, it was pure euphoria, their very first opening win over Germany. Chicharito literally broke down in tears of joy right there on the pitch, while 39-year-old legend Rafa Marquez stepped onto the field for a record-tying 5th World Cup. But conversely, for Germany, it was a waking nightmare. 25 massive shots resulting in exactly 0 goals, and they officially joined the dreaded ranks of fallen defending champions.
You just couldn't ignore the pattern anymore. France in 2002, Italy in 2010, Spain in 2014. By suffering this stunning defeat, Germany officially became the 3rd defending champion in 4 editions to lose their opening match. It proved to the entire world that the champion's curse was undeniably real.
So, as we wrap up this explainer on a phenomenal underdog story, we're left with one massive question to chew on. If the seemingly unstoppable, tactically brilliant world champions can fall on day 1 to a perfect counter-attacking strategy, what does that actually mean for the rest of the tournament? Is anyone truly safe when that opening whistle blows? Thanks for diving into this with me, and definitely keep that in mind the next time a heavy favorite takes the